Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, I know I said on my channel that I was going on a book buying ban. And I was. I really was. But before I went on that ban, I had acquired some books over the first couple months of the year. I had just placed a book outlet order before I finally told myself no more. And now that order is here, so I thought, why don't I unbox it today on my channel? I also got some books while I was home for spring break that technically I didn't purchase them. Someone bought them for me. So I didn't really break the ban, right? At least that's what I tell myself. So I'll start with the books that I bought in January, go through those, and then we will unbox this book outlet order. I honestly don't really remember what's in here. I remember some of the things I bought and others I don't. The thing is, originally I put a whole bunch of things in my cart that I ended up with like 15 books in there, and I told myself, cut it down to like 3. So I remember a lot of the things I put in my cart, but I don't remember which were the 3 that I actually committed to buying. So we'll see. It'll be a surprise for all of us when I open it up. So the first book that I acquired in 2019, which I actually also bought from Book Outlet, is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, specifically this adorable Puffin in Bloom edition. It is so cute. I just had to have it when I saw it on the site. Little Women is the story of 4 sisters, Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy March, who are living in New England during the American Civil War. This was one of my favorite books growing up because I had the Great Illustrated Classics version, which is a series where they take classic novels and they adapt them to be accessible to children. So I've never actually read the full adult version of this classic, just the kids version that I had growing up. And I've always wanted to read the full version because when I was younger, I loved it so much and I identified so much with Jo March as a character. So I am really excited to read this. I don't know when I'm going to get to it because it is like an 800-page book and that's really long, but I do want to read it maybe at some point in 2019 because I did love this so much growing up. In that same book outlet order, I actually ordered The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis, which I don't have with me currently because I've actually already read this. I read it over spring break, and after I finished it, I just left it at home. No point in bringing a book back to college with me when it's just going to take up space and I've already finished it. I don't think I need to go into too much detail about this book because I already talked about it in my 5-star predictions video, and I am reading it in my spring break reading vlog if you want to see some of my thoughts, and I will give you a full review of this book in my March wrap-up. I just realized that another book I had on my shelf I acquired in January, and that is The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I know the cover looks so ugly because we couldn't get the Target sticker off, so now it's just there. This actually, my mom bought it when we were in Florida because she wanted something that she could read, and I told her I had heard good reviews about this book. So she bought it, read it in one weekend, and then I asked if I could have it because she was never going to read it again, and she said sure. So now it is on my shelf. I really don't know that much about what this book is about. I know it's a domestic thriller, and I think it's about an ex-wife who becomes obsessed with her husband's new wife or something like that. I could be totally wrong. I just know it's a domestic thriller. People have said it's good. I can't really read the back and find out more what it's about because it's a very vague description. It's really not helping me at all. When you read this book, you will make many assumptions. You will assume you are reading about a jealous ex-wife. You will assume she is obsessed with her replacement, a beautiful, younger woman who is about to marry the man they both love. You will assume you know the anatomy of this tangled love triangle. Assume nothing. So, I guess I'm just gonna go into this book blind and assume nothing. My mom said that she did enjoy it. She didn't think it was the best thriller she'd ever read, but she had a good time reading it. So maybe I'll get to this at some point soon. I have been kind of in the mood to read a thriller lately. I actually think I haven't read a thriller all year. Yeah, I don't think I have. I might need to rectify that because mysteries and thrillers are actually my favorite genre, and I can't believe it's been almost 3 months and I haven't read a single thriller yet. That's odd. So now Let's open this puppy. I don't remember exactly what's in here, so let's find out together. I literally did not at all remember ordering this. I don't even remember putting it in my cart. I did want to read it, but I wasn't expecting to find it in this box, and that is The Queens of Innis Lear by Tessa Gratton. This is an adult fantasy, and it is a retelling of Shakespeare's King Lear, which is one of my favorite Shakespeare plays that I've read. So it is about three sisters who are all vying for their father's throne. This is a book that I have wanted to read because, like I said, I do really like King Lear. And I think the reason why I got this on Book Outlet is because I have heard mixed reviews about it. So a book like that, even though I was interested, I don't want to spend a lot of money on a book if I'm only hearing so-so things. So getting this for cheap on Book Outlet made me happy, even though I forgot that I ordered it. But I'm excited to have it now. I just forgot that it was in this order. It's been several weeks since I placed it, and the box sat here for like a week and a half while I was in spring break, waiting to film this video. Okay, this next book I actually do remember having in the cart, and that is Alex and Eliza by Melissa Dia Cruz. Evidently, this came to me way of a Target because it still has the Target sticker, and hopefully I'll peel this one off better than I did with The Wife Between Us, because that was a disaster. This is a historical fiction romance following Alexander Hamilton and Elizabeth Schuyler and how they met and fell in love during the American Revolutionary War. I wanted to read this book because I do really love the musical Hamilton. I was privileged enough to get to go see Hamilton a couple years ago. I think it was in 2016 at some point while I was in high school, and it was just the most amazing show I have ever seen performed. It was absolutely fantastic, and for the first 3 songs or so, I was genuinely in shock. I couldn't believe that I was actually there and this was actually happening to me. It was so wonderful. I did hear mixed reviews about this book as well, which is again why I wanted to get it at a discounted price, because I still was interested in reading it. I don't know if I'm going to love it or if it's just going to be okay or if I'm not going to like it, but I do still want to give it a shot because it's a topic that I'm interested in. This last book in my Book Outlet order is the one that I did remember ordering, and I am really excited about it, and that is Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay. The sticker is covering up her name. Yes, Lindsay Fay. Evidently this one also came to me way of a Target because there's another Target sticker on here, which again I'm gonna have to peel off. I really do like this cover. It is super pretty in my opinion. That is really nice. This is a retelling of Jane Eyre, but the interesting twist is that it reimagines Jane as a serial killer. Jane grows up abused by her foster family. She's taken in by her aunt and her cousins who abuse her, and so she kills them and goes on the run, and then ends up at the home of Mr. Thornfield, who she begins to have romantic feelings for while also hiding her serial killer past. And this concept of Jane Eyre, but with Jane as a serial killer, is just so interesting to me. I read Jane Eyre in January, I believe it was, and I absolutely loved it, so I've been acquiring some Jane Eyre retellings. I have this one, I have My Plain Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows, and I also want to read Brightly Burning by Alexa Dunn. I don't own that one, but I would like to read it. It is Jane Eyre in space. All of these sound amazing to me, so I'm going to be reading basically all the Jane Eyre retellings this year. I'm just so obsessed with it now. Finally, I also have a couple books that were bought for me by my dad when I was home for spring break. So I didn't technically break the book buying ban. He got them for me. I didn't buy them for myself, so that's not cheating, right? I already showed these in my spring break reading vlog, so I will be pretty quick about it. The first one I actually don't have here right now because I knew I wasn't gonna get to it anytime soon, so why bring it to college? We're just gonna sit here. And that's Persuasion by Jane Austen. It is the Penguin Classics edition with the beautiful covers, which I absolutely love. And Persuasion, I'm not entirely sure what it's about. I think the main character in Persuasion is Anne, and it's set in Bath. I know it's set in Bath because Bath is actually where I want to study abroad next semester, so I would be really interested in reading Persuasion, which is set in Bath and was written in Bath, while I'm actually in Bath. And I think the premise is that Anne was once engaged to Captain Wentworth, but for some reason she was persuaded into breaking the engagement, and now they cross paths again years later, and Anne thinks that she is still in love with him. I think that's what it's about. I'm not entirely sure. I might be wrong. And the last book that I have acquired so far this year is one that I have been really excited to read. You would know that if you watched my A Song of Ice and Fire book tag, and that is A Feast for Crows by George R. R. Martin, which is book 4 in the A Song of Ice and Fire series, or you may better know it as Game of Thrones. It was adapted into the amazing HBO television series. I absolutely love the books, even more than I love the show, and I have wanted to read book 4 since like December, and I just really wanted a copy of it. So I'm so glad I finally have my hands on one. I'm assuming most of you know what A Song of Ice and Fire is about. It is in a fantasy world called Westeros, full of political intrigue, family drama, and lots of things like that. I can't go into much specifics about this book if you haven't read the first 3 books or watched the TV show. I already started reading it. I am about 100 and something pages in, and I am so excited to devour this book because I love this series so much and I love the characters. They are just all so amazing and it really emotionally connects with me. This isn't a book, but it is bookish. I acquired recently my first Funko Pop to go on my shelf. You've probably seen it in the background, and I got Ghost! Ghost is Jon Snow's pet direwolf from A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones, and he is absolutely adorable. Maybe someday I'll get a little Jon Snow to go along with him, but I just thought this one was so cute, and I didn't know what character to get for my first Funko Pop. I knew I only wanted Funko Pops from fandoms that are also books, so like A Song of Ice and Fire / Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, because these are all going to go on my bookshelf, so I wanted them to be book related. I didn't know what Game of Thrones character I wanted first because I love so many, so when I saw they had a Ghost one, I was like, hell yeah, Ghost is the best character, and if he does not appear in season 8 of Game of Thrones, I'm going to lose it. Because I love Ghost. He's the best character on the entire show. So loyal, such a good boy, so cute. Okay guys, so those are all the books that I have acquired so far in 2019. Have you read any of the books that I showed in this video? What did you think of them? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and I would really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel to see more from me. My social media links are down below. Please be my friend on Goodreads. I would really like to talk to you guys about books. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, and I'll see you in the next video.